Right, I'm from a wee town called Killaloe in County Down, Northern Ireland. It's a wee small town on the shores of Stratford Lough. And then I went with my granny to church. And she was the one who made sure that we went to church. And she took me, and then when my brother was a bit younger, she took him. And she always had mint imperials in her handbag, that if we started to talk in the sermon, she'd give us a mint imperial. I went to church very regularly up until I left and become a nurse, but it depended on the shifts. I had pressure from, I can put so-called Christian friends who put pressure on me to impose their view, a view which I did not agree with, and it wasn't necessarily a Christian view. And I began to think, well, if they're Christians, why are they thinking like that? And it put me off, really. And I must have been at a Christmas thing here, and I said to Jenny that when I retire, I am going to start coming to Grace. I went to explore, and I retired on the Thursday, and I came to church on the Sunday. I found very friendly, everybody was very nice. I knew Ruth, I knew Jenny, and then I began to get involved in other things. I joined in, I helped at the net, I helped at the old folks' lunch, I helped at Food Bank with you, and I make the tea at the craft night. Now looking back, I wasn't focusing on what I should have been focusing on. That God is my saviour. I wasn't focusing on that, as you know. I was focusing on irrelevant things that I didn't agree with. I still mightn't agree with all of them, but I wasn't focusing on the main thing. I spoke to Martin, and we met up at Costa, and we had a conversation, and at the end of it I just said to Martin, I can't do it, Martin, and I won't do it. And when other folk asked me why I wasn't a Christian, I replied to them, I don't know. But being honest, I did know. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to commit. I didn't want to do it. So I went then with Louise. We went to Sharnbrook, and we know Clifton Baptist Church. They had a thing on all the week, and I listened to Fiona Castle and this other gentleman. I started to read the Bible, particularly at the Gospel of John, and I began to listen a bit more to the sermons. It was at the net, and Louise said to me, how's your journey going? Because it is a journey. So anyway, we met up that day, and we went over the Gospel of St. John and this little booklet, and there's a prayer in it, and so I just said at Louise and ready. I sent Martin a text, and it was, hi Martin, remember that conversation in Costa when I said I can't and I won't? Just to let you know I can and I did. Well, you believe that God is my saviour, and he died for me on the cross. And that's the main thing I'm focusing on. I've started having what I call a conversation with God, usually in the morning. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and I go to sleep, and I have what I call a conversation. You assure me it's prayer, but to me it's a conversation, and I usually start off by saying, morning Lord, and then I go on and tell him all what happened, and I pray for certain people, or whatever's relevant, and then I finish off saying, I'll speak to you tomorrow. Now, my granny had a great influence on me, and it's only really when I become a Christian that I realised how deep and strong her faith was. I didn't really understand it until, I really become a Christian. And when she was an old lady, she said to me that God knew what he was doing. He knew that she wouldn't be able to cope with certain things in her life, and she just believed that he would see her through, and he did. It has changed me. I feel more peaceful, and sometimes I feel now things that God would want me to do, and I don't do them. I didn't go about broadcasting it because it's not my way, really.
The cat might be out of the bag now.
The cat is out of the bag. The cat is out of the bag. It's taken me a long time. I had some comments from certain people who said, "You took long enough. What kept you? Why you took so long?" I think God just knew I wasn't ready. It was a long journey, and I'm starting a new journey, but I wasn't ready, John. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to commit. And I did in my late years.